If you're traveling to Thailand this year, listen to me before you land in Bangkok and make the same mistake I made on my first trip to Asia. I paid almost $100 in roaming charges in just 1 week because I didn't know there was something 10 times cheaper and way more convenient. Today, I'm going to show you the 2 eSIMs I personally tried in Thailand, and I'll tell you, unfiltered, which one is best for you depending on the kind of trip you're taking. Before we get into comparing options, let me quickly explain what an eSIM is, because a lot of people still aren't clear on it. An eSIM is basically a digital SIM card. You don't have to order anything by mail, you don't have to go to a store, and you don't have to take out your current SIM card. You buy a plan online, you get a code, you scan it, and your phone connects to the Thai network just like a local. That's it. No physical SIM, no lines at the airport, and you don't lose your original SIM card. Now, this brings us to a very obvious question that many travelers have. Why wouldn't you just wait until you land at the airport and buy a local Thai SIM card right then and there? When I first arrived at the busy Suvarnabhumi airport, it took me almost 40 long minutes just to wait in line at the local carrier, show my passport, and then wait for them to finally activate the SIM card. With an eSIM, that problem disappears. You land, turn on your phone, and you're already connected. Now, what most people don't know is that there are 3 main mobile networks in Thailand, and choosing the right one can completely change your trip. The first is AIS, the network with the widest coverage in the country, especially on remote islands. The second is TrueMove H, which has the best 5G in Bangkok and in the south. And the third is DTAC, which is more affordable but has weaker coverage in rural areas. If you're going to travel to islands or the north of the country, this matters a lot because an eSIM running on the wrong network can leave you without signal right when you need to open Google Maps. Now that you know the basics, let's get to the important part, which eSIM to choose. And the first one I want to introduce is the one that ends up winning in most cases because of its price to quality ratio. Saily is an eSIM created by the same team that develops NordVPN, which already tells you something. The people behind the product know what they're doing when it comes to connectivity, security, and mobile apps. And you can tell that from the very first minute. The app is polished, the setup is straightforward, and the whole process feels professional without being complicated. But what really makes Saily my top recommendation for Thailand is the network it operates on. Its local plans run on AIS, which, as I mentioned a moment ago, is the network with the best coverage in the whole country, especially if you're planning to leave Bangkok. Now, let's get to what matters most to you, the prices. Here, Saily is straightforward and honest. The 1 GB plan, valid for 7 days, costs you around $3. The 3 GB plan for 30 days, which is the one I recommend for most short trips, is about $6. The 10 GB plan for 30 days is around $11, and the 20 GB plan for 30 days is close to $20. Just for reference, for less than what you'd pay for 1 night in a decent hotel in Bangkok, you have data for your entire trip. Now, an important clarification, because a lot of people get confused about this. Saily has plans that say unlimited, but they're not truly unlimited. They give you 5 GB per day at high speed, and after that, the speed's reduced. You don't lose internet access, but you won't be able to upload long videos to Instagram with the same smoothness. For the average traveler, this isn't a problem. What I do think is a real added value is what the app includes. Saily has an ad blocker, a layer of protection that blocks malicious sites when you're on public Wi-Fi networks, and a virtual location feature. For someone who's heading into the office or connecting to a hotel's Wi-Fi, this isn't just for show, it's a serious layer of security. So, who is Saily the perfect choice for? For travelers staying 1 to 3 weeks, backpackers on a tight budget, and anyone moving around the islands where the AIS network makes the difference between having internet or being completely cut off. That said, it's not the best option for everyone. If your trip is really long or you need truly unlimited data, there's another eSIM that will probably work better for you, and that's the one I'm going to talk about now. Airalo is probably the most well-known eSIM in the world, and for a very specific reason. It has coverage in over 200 countries and handles a user volume that few brands can match. When you open their app, you can tell they've been doing this for a while. Everything is well thought out, the plans are clearly organized, and activation is basically automatic from the moment you land. For Thailand, Airalo offers you quite a large number of options. Just for local plans, you have about 12 alternatives that range from 1 gig for around $4 to unlimited 30-day plans. The 10 gig plan for 30 days costs you about $11. And if you need a lot of data in a short time, they have a 50 gig plan for 30 days for around $8, which is one of the most generous on the market. But Airalo's main selling point, and the reason why many travelers prefer it over Saily, is its truly unlimited plan on the DTA network. It costs you about $49 for 30 days, and although there's a fair use policy if you use a ton of data, in practice it works pretty well for people who are glued to their phones or work from Thailand. Another very clear advantage is the regional plan for Asia. If your trip isn't just to Thailand, but you're also going to Vietnam, Cambodia, Singapore, or Japan, this plan covers you everywhere with a single eSIM. You don't have to buy a different one in each country, you don't have to keep changing settings, and on a long trip through Southeast Asia, that's worth way more than saving $1 or $2 per country. So when is Airalo better than Saily? The short answer, when your trip is long, when you're going to several countries, or when you need data without real restrictions. If you're gonna work remotely for a month and you'll be on video calls every day, Airalo gives you a peace of mind that Saily's unlimited plan can't guarantee because of its daily limit of 5 gigabytes at high speed. Now, I also have to tell you what I didn't like so much. Airalo's small plans are more expensive than Saily's. If you're only going for a week and need just a little data, you're paying extra just for the brand. And customer support, which used to be one of the best in previous years, has gotten a bit slower in 2026. It's nothing to panic about, but if you have an urgent problem, don't expect a reply in 5 minutes. With that, you've got the full picture. You know what an eSIM is, you're familiar with Thailand's networks, and you understand the two options that are really worth it. Now, let me wrap up with my final recommendation and a practical tip, so you don't make the same mistake I made on my first trip. For most travelers going to Thailand for 1 to 3 weeks, Saily offers the best value for money because it runs on the AIS network, which has the best coverage on islands and in rural areas. For longer trips, multi-country travel around Southeast Asia, or if you really need unlimited data, Airalo will work better for you. Remember, I've left the best deals in the video description, so you can use whichever one works best for you. And that's all.